Hello and welcome to my channel, and today I'm doing my adult colouring year in review. So yeah, lots of books sitting here waiting to show. I coloured more than I thought. There are 37 books here, and obviously some books I've done more than one page in. So let me get all this piled, because these are all piled up. Let me get these out of the way with, and we will get started. So let's get started straight away with this one. This is Midnight Butterflies by Marty Joe's Colouring. I have a sneaky feeling that this book is not available anymore. I will leave links below in the description to everything that I can find, though. It's going to be quite a list because, yeah, there's a lot of books. So I just did one from here, and yeah, so I did this one. I actually did this one with Poscas. I've got this set. Hang on, I've actually got this set of Poscas, which is a 12 set, which is just with the 7mm nib, and obviously I used white and black quite a lot, and occasionally some of the other colours, but they don't get used equally. I've had this set for ages, and yeah, they're still going strong. So I thought, you know what, let's use some of the colours that I don't get to use very often, which is like the sort of the bright neon pink, certainly the bright cyan blue, and the yellow. So yeah, not really much to say about this. It's very simple, and you'll find out as I go through my books that I am quite a fan of limited palettes quite often. So yeah, literally just three colours, isn't it? Yellow, blue and pink. They're almost pastel, but not a bit more than pastel. Almost neon, almost pastel. Yeah, that is that one. I did that one. The only trouble with black background is it picks up the fingerprints. I did this in March, so one of the earliest pictures I did after I came back from my break. Sticking with black backgrounds, I also did this one. So this is Licornes, which is French for unicorns, by Marabout, which is a really nice publisher, French publisher. They always have really good paper, and 50 images. Again, though, it's the same concept, except of course this is unicorns. This I think is still available, and I just did the one, and I did this one. I did I do this for Valentine's Day? No, I did it in April for Easter. I just felt like it. So this is a bit of I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I thought it was going to work better in my head than it actually did. I thought this red would be a little bit brighter, but I've done it in. I've used. What did I use? I think it was these. Yeah. So I used my Amazon Basics. They're just like, if you've not seen these, super cheap. They're just like they're like felt tip pens, but this is like that plastic type thing, a bit like what they called the Stabilo and nibs like that. They're a kind of a plastic, and the ink comes through the plastic. I don't know how it works. It's magic. But yeah, so these are the Amazon Basic pens. They come in a set, and so I just used that because they have a very fine point. So I used them basically instead of using Stabilos, you know, the fine tips. So I did the red and green in just those, and then just for a bit of well, I did pink because you know, unicorn. So why not? So I did pink for the unicorn in his horn. It's like I've used one of those colour shift ones, you know the ones, the hybrid Pentel dual metallic, which is the pink blue. So that kind of reflects. And then I've used gold in its mane. And then I just did this as almost just like a frame. That's also in the gold thing. So, I mean, it's okay. It turned into a bit of a bind because all these roses kind of mixed in with the leaves. And it was it turned into a bit of a labour, if I recall. I thought this would be a nice quick job, and it turned out to be not a nice quick job. I don't know why I thought it'd be quick. Look at all these lines. It's actually quite a detailed picture. But yeah, it's okay. It's not going to win any prizes, but it's okay. So that is Licornes by Marabout. Looks like I'm getting all my black background ones out the way with early. So this is who's this one? Sunlife drawing. So this is the Mosaic Mandala black background colouring books. And I did a few in here this year. And this one I did with, I know what I did these with. So these, because this is acrylic marker. Ooh. So I did this with these types of Langro acrylic markers. Now, I do not like these. I had someone comment on the video because when I was talking about these before, and they're like, oh my God, the Langro hate. I don't hate Langro. I hate these pens. Big difference. So these are just like the felt tippy type ones. You don't shake them or anything like that. And I did not get on with them. Like, it's not too bad in here because there's nothing, it's just a strictly white background. So the colour comes through quite well. But when I used them in like, well, you'll see, when I used them in like a colour by number, you find I found them so watery. Like there's not opaque. I don't expect yellows and pales and things like this to be opaque, not on one coat. But they was just watery. I don't know if I got a bad batch, but I did not like these pens. But I do not hate Langwo. For the record, I do not hate Langwo, but I do hate these pens. So I do not recommend them. I will leave them linked below. You might want to test them for yourself. Never just go for one person's opinion. Right, so this is one I only recently showed in my December finish pages. So I did this. Oh, this was a labour of love. Every now and again, I feel like doing something a little bit extra for Mandala. So I put all these I just got the white gel pen out and dotted. It's a bit like what is it called? Pointillism. Dot 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 dot. But I was halfway through. I'm like, this is so many dots. I did some white and black dots in here. I kind of felt like these were angels. I can't remember if I said that before. And I just used some glitter gel pen. I'm not sure if I think it's picking up on the stars and on these little doodits. The doodits that stick in, I don't know what they are. They're almost like spokes, but yeah. So I really enjoyed the end result. And about halfway through, I was really enjoying like the repetitive nature of doing all the dots, and just like there was something quite satisfying about it. But then the second half, I was just like, yeah, I'm over this. Let's get done. But that is that one. And then this one, okay, I remember doing this one. So this is a metallic one. It's actually, I think it does look quite bright if you catch it in the light, but when you're looking at it straight on and there's no shine, I do find this one is a little bit on the dull side. So I use these. This is when I was testing out. Where are these? Honestly, if you could see all the precarious piles of things beside me, it's just an accident waiting to happen. I'm just waiting for it. So I actually use these nicety pens. So these pens are similar to how I was talking about the other Langwo pens, in the fact that they're not shaky ones. Shaky. They're just nibs, and they've just got the ink inside them. So I do find these as well go on a little bit thin, not as bad as they don't feel watery, but it doesn't feel like much paint comes out with it. So yeah, I've got these. These were the first acrylic pens I ever got, and I think they're a nice starter set. But I quickly found out. I thought, oh yeah, it's really great. I've got a 48 set. That'd be great to start off with my colour by numbers, my Disney ones. And then I got them, and I realised that like this whole area is like 14, I think it was, metallics, which obviously I would not be using. So yeah, I only had 34 colours to work with, which is not anywhere near as much. But for something for me to like just try out initially, it works out really well. Anyway, I'm going off the point. Point is, I had literally nothing I could use my metallics on. So I thought, you know what? Let's do a mandala. So I did this. I thought it was 48. It's 60. So I had 46. I had 46 different colours. It still wasn't enough. Well, it doesn't matter how many was in the set. It was just not enough. It didn't feel that big a set. Anyway, so this was with the metallic. So it's like a maroony red, supposedly a gold. It's more like it's almost a bronze. It's very dark. And the blue. I do like the blue. The blue's got a really nice sheen to it. But yeah, that was that one. And I think that was it. I like this book. I don't know why I've only done 3 in it this year. We'll move that out the pile next year and do more in it. Talking of books I love, so you can see we have quite a few tabs in this one. So this is one of my oldest books. Again, it's Sunlife drawing. I know I had this in 2019 because I've got pictures that I did in it. So it's going on 6 years old now. You can tell. Look, it's well loved, this book. It's got creases and yeah. Anyway, it's another black background. It's Shock News. This one I have done in regular glitter gel pens. So I've done this like with sort of red, gold, green. So I did not do it at Christmas. I did it in March. So yeah, I'm not sure why. Maybe I had Christmassy vibes. There is orange in it as well, so it's not completely Christmas colours. Yeah, I think pictures like these, and books like these, I tend to use a lot when I'm getting low on ink in things, because I find they're a good way to just finish up pens. Do you know what I mean? And then I did this one. So this one I've done this with, I think I've done this with a Langro gel pen. In fact, I'm 99% sure I'd used these types of pens, like the Langro gel pens, which I really like. I don't have the full set of these. I need to get the full set of these. But for now, we've only got a few packs. But I started to do it in the pink, and I thought, do you know what? I actually quite like it with the white as a contrast. Even though there's a small part of my brain going, but it's not finished because it's meant to be coloured in. But who says it's meant to be coloured in? I'm nobody really. It's just my brain. So yeah, I like that as a sort of duotone. So that was that one. And then I also completed this one. When did I do this? Again, this was with the Langro gel pens. The nice thing about the Langro gel pens, when you buy the packs like this, which is a pack of, what are they, 9, I think? 3. Yeah, the packs of 9. They are generally all sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they all work together in the colour palette. So it means that you can just like pick up a pack, and then I can just pick out 4 pens, and I know they will all play well together because they're sort of like they're in the colour wheel. They all play well together. So this is a green, pink, yellow, and blue. And then no, let's not look at that one because that is an old one. And then this one is this one. It looks like I've done again with those Amazon Basics, because they do have the fine nib. The only thing about them is that they're not overtly inky, so sometimes they do look a little bit scratchy. Like I get like see it on the dark colours here, just like little bits of white show through because they're not. It's not a rollerball, so the ink doesn't always lay down as smooth as I would like. But you'd have to have your nose in it to see that. I really like this colour palette, like the pinks, the purples, the blues, and the yellows. So that one I like. This one, I was obviously feeling very bold. I've got some metallic silver in here, which I've made a bit of a mess on laying. I think I might have used the Blue Mad pens for that. It was not my finest work. I was probably doing it late at night with light and with just artificial light, and it doesn't show up so well. But yeah, again, I've used those Pentel, not Pentel, the Amazon Basics, because that's a little bit scratchy. But yeah, nice sort of bold palettes. That was just from my December year review. You can see I've done quite a lot of pictures in this book. And this one I've used, what have I used here again? So that looks like those Amazon Basics because it's a little bit scratchy. And then I've used a Langro pink gel pen for this, and I've used a metallic. I'm pretty sure that's the Langro metallic gold for that. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, I do like a bit of pink and blue, but yeah, it's a little bit scratchy, and I've started to use something else here, or whatever it was. I did not like it because that's the only place I use that light blue. And then we've got I can get rid of him. And this one is again the Langro gel pens. I think this was one that I did when I first got them, and this is what I mean about when you get the palettes that automatically work out. So this was like I think they might have been their dopamine set or the highlighter. This is the highlighter set, and yeah, so all the colours work together. It's very vibrant, without even. It's not neon, but it's just you can see it. Stuff is happening. It's not subtle. And then last but not least in this book this year, where is it? I did this one. And again, this was with the Langro gel pens. I've used a pink and a sort of mint green and a pale yellow. And then this one, I was just like, I decided that because it had the key line here for the white, and it was, like this. And this was like hollow with the black lines. And I decided it was looking a bit sort of limp. It didn't have any, there was nothing to draw a focus. Do you know what I mean? There was nothing to pull everything together. So I decided to colour in the whole area. Because with the Langro gel pens, they're the same as acrylic paint pens in the sense that they will cover the black. So that was black underneath there. And then I just put a pale green over the other lines. And then, I think it works well because it does make it look a bit more sort of like a flower. And that is that. So that is Relax and Colour Inverted Mandala Sunlife Drawing. One of my favourite books. I might try and finish this book this year because I do have quite a lot done in it. So, ooh, there goes a, what is he? A llama. No, an alpaca. I had these in the hall a while back. Must admit, they're not great because they're not sticky. They do stick, but then like a flea can sneeze on the other side of the room and it'd be like, whoop. Anyway, Relax and Colour. And we have another mandala colouring book. I'm a very eclectic colourer, so I do like lots of mandalas. I do like doing colour by numbers, but I still like doing detailed pages. So like I'm all over the place. So this one, what did I do in here? So this one I have just done with alcohol markers. Very simple palette, but I do like that. The only thing it's missing is maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit of shiny stuff. I'm like a magpie. I do like a bit of sparkle sometimes, but like the colours work so well. I don't know. I'm undecided, but I do like it. I like this book because it's the 3D, so it does have like this sort of grayscale around it to make it like pop off the page. And then I've got this one, which I am not entirely sure how I feel about this one. So I started off doing originally this was pink, and then I did this, and I was like, do you know what? There was just, when you just add in too many colours, and I think that's the problem. So then I went over the pink with the red to try and like at least reduce the number of colours down a little bit. It did remove it, it stops you seeing quite a lot of, because this all had the grayscale inside it as well. So it did remove that, but I do think I got carried away. Sometimes you just get carried away. I'm like, I've done too many colours, and it did not need it. I like this outside bit, but I think if I could just get rid of the middle bit, I think maybe if that needed to be green, I don't know. But even if I put something over that to make it green, it would match. So yeah, it's okay, but just not amazing. And then I did this one just to be a little bit different, because this is one I picked sort of because I didn't particularly like the picture, and I don't want to be left at the end of the book with all the pictures I don't like. So yeah, I've done this alcohol marker base, and then I've got some of that Pentel Dual Metallic. It's my absolute favourite one. It's the red and black one. So it kind of looks really dark on the page, and then you turn it to the side, and then you get this hint of, well, it's not a hint of red, it's like a really nice deep red. I'm just not entirely sure how well the camera is picking it up next to the light. But yeah, it's there, trust me. So that's that one. I was actually surprised I felt I'd done more in this book this year. But yeah, I like this book. I'll have to do more in it next year. Right, I need to talk less and show more because time is ticking and I've got a lot of books. So I've only done one. So this is Beautiful Colour by Numbers by Felicity James. It's an Arcturus colour by number book. I did one in here. This isn't a nice book. It has some good pictures in it and some not so good. I feel like there's a bit of padding, but this is one of the better ones. And it did take a while because like there's a lot of greens used in this bottom bit. But yeah, Girl in the Pink Wellies. And I do feel it came out quite well. I think I did this in the spring. Yeah, April. I was feeling very spring-like. And Pink Wellies did it for me. Yeah, so that is that one. Beautiful Colour by Numbers, Felicity James. All right. This is another one of my favourite mandala books. I definitely do not colour in this one often enough. So this is 50 Snowflakes to colour. I actually only coloured in it once. I think the trouble with this book is because they are snowflakes, I kind of just do it in winter, and it doesn't need to be. I need to get over that. Right, so I did this one, and I did this one at Christmas time. So I went for very Christmassy colours. So we have our red. It made me feel a bit more sort of pepperminty because it's got the reds and the greens, but it's got like this thing. So it made me think of like candy canes and all this sort of stuff. I don't know, there's just something about it. But again, I've used the Pentel Dual Metallic. If you're not sure what they are, I'm absolutely sure you do know what I'm talking about, but they're like, these ones, the Dual Metallics. I think they might be called Sparkle Pops in the US. I'm not sure, but they colour shift. I absolutely love them. Right, so yeah, so I've used two colour shifts on there. One, I've used that black again, black and red, because that is my absolute favourite. And then I've used a little bit of green. I think it was green gold. Not sure, just green, I think, in the middle. And then I've got used the orange one, which is like an orange gold. I don't know how well it picks it up, but it's there and I like it. I really like this colour palette. Sometimes something just, yeah. And that was a yeah. I'll do at least I'm getting the Christmassy ones out of the way with now while we are still feeling Christmassy. So I only did one out of here this year, and it was this one. So it was like the, what do you call them, cardinals, and there's some light burbs, and I don't know why they're not robins. They should be robins, I feel. But yeah, they're in the tree. It might be a Christmas tree because it's got a little star in it. And if you're not familiar with these ones, like they come with the like you because they're like mosaic style, so it's up to you. You don't have to fill it in, but I find it's handy. The reason why I like these types of books is like you can use an alcohol marker, and then if it bleeds, it doesn't matter because you can just fill in this thing. Anyway, I filled in the line this time with the gold. I used these Blue Mad ones. Is my, hang on, yeah, one of these Blue Mad. You can get. I use them in my colour by number books for the black. Let me show you that. Just so they come in a black, white, silver, and gold set. You can just buy blacks and whites and stuff like that. I just got them on Amazon, but they're really good. They're like a cheap version of what's her face, Poscas, because they've got this 7mm nib, which is the same size as the Poscas. And yeah, like they're a budget alternative, shall we say? And so I used them in this, but the nib is quite small, which normally does me good, but it was like a lot smaller than the line. And because, yeah, I had to, it turned into a bit of a labour, and I'm not sure it would have been the best use of my time to use the gold, but it looks okay. And it does have a little bit of shine. We like shines. So that is that one. Oh, did I say the name? So that is Colour by Numbers Christmas Mosaic, again, Sunlife drawing. And then another Christmas one that I did was Christmas Fantasy on the black background, and that is by Colour Questopia, and then it has its palette on the back. And I just did one from here as well this Christmas. I did this one. This actually turned out to be really easy because I didn't think about it when I picked it. I was like, yeah, snowy scene, and then I realised that all the snow was white, and I did not have to colour it. I don't know why. I'm not very smart sometimes. It's not that. I don't think ahead sometimes. So that was a very quick finish. I just had the green in here, and this is all solid. But it's actually a fun picture. I do like it. Yeah, so that is that one from Colour Christmas Fantasy, black background, Colour Questopia. All right, Rose Windows. So this is Creative Haven book. It's by Joel S. Averin, and I think this is still available to buy. I've done a few in here. It is one of my favourite books, and I've done this one. I usually do them in alcohol markers because they've got, you know, the grayscale, and that's what creates the effect. So yeah, it's just like they're nice quick dopamine hits. I'm not so much of a fan. There's a few of them in here. There's one at the back that I've not done here. Yeah, but anyway, moving on. I've done that one as well, again in alcohol markers. Oh yeah, and that one. See, that's the thing. I would like to finish this book, but knowing that those faces are there, I'll have to do the faces first and then get them over with, and then I've only got nice stuff left. This one, I did not do that at Christmas, but that feels such a Christmassy one because of the colours I've used. But I did this in February. Yeah, in fact, one of the earliest pictures I did after coming back. They look like little shamrocks. When's St. Patrick's Day? Maybe I did it for that. No, that's in March, so I don't know. So this one I did with my Pentel Dual Metallics mostly, and also the what they call Signo, the Signo glitter gel pens. I can't remember. I had some pale pink under there that when I put it in, it looked pale pink. But then when I put in the darker colours, like it just made it. You know how your eyes play tricks on you, like, you know, the gold dress, is the gold dress gold or is it blue or whatever it was? And when I put the other colours around it, it just made the pink, what was pale pink, it just made it look muddy. So I had to go in afterwards and just fill it all in with, you know, colour over it. So that's why there's some odd things going on it. But yeah, I did this as a whipping chat even. I don't do many whipping chats, but I did that as a whipping chat for Valentine's Day. Yeah, that's all right. And what else did I do? Is that it? That is it for that book. So I did, what did I do? 4 in there. Stone mosaics. and I did a couple in here. I have mixed feelings about this book. So this one is a sort of, it's a bit of a tree of life type thing going on. I assume they're all blossoms. I don't know. I do not know the colour choices. But yeah, so I did that one. And then I did this one, which I was a bit happier with, because you can see like it's like the hearts. And the trouble with this book is like I did one. Which one is it? This one. And do you know, I think it might go that way. I don't know. Like when you can't even tell which way round the pitch goes. I think it might be a pond with flowers behind it. No, it is this way up because look, that looks like a. I don't know. I think the flowers. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's in a. I don't know. I do not know. And you know when you just the first picture you do is a duffer, and it kind of puts you off the book. Even though I look at all these ones, and I think they're really cool, but I have not found any of them yet. So I will persevere with this book because I know there's pictures in here that I would like, but it's been a rocky start. So this is Stone Mosaic, and it is the Belba family. Right, 50 Nighttime Mandalas, again, is another black background book. This is one of my favourite books. I was surprised. I've only done one in here. I like this book, and I don't know why I've only done one this year. Stuff and things to do. Right, now what did I use for this? I can feel texture. That means I did it with... Oh, well, I have used alcohol markers for that. I think... Oh, I can see it now. I know what I've used because there is the ever so slightest. It's these funny pens. What are they called? These things. The Giotto Turbo Glitter. They are the oddest things because I look at that and oh yeah, I can see just a little hint of like sparkle. And I've done it on here and I've done it on here. But it's nothing, you know, you look at that and it's just like, oh yeah, no, it's just a hint of. There is nothing remotely turbo glitter about it. And then at night, where I don't know, I guess it's like a sort of focused beam of light. This will be blinging up like it's going out of fashion. Like there'll be so much sparkle on it, and it's like magic. But I don't understand why. Yeah, I think it just needs a directional light to make it shine, as opposed to there's daylight, and I do have a lamp on, but there's daylight here, so it's not directional, and I think that's what it needs. But yeah, there is a lot of it doesn't look like it, but there is actually a lot of glitter on there. So that is that one. Oh, that's by Camelia Ranchkova. I'm sure you're all familiar with her. She doesn't do many mandala books. In fact, I'm not sure she does any mandala books anymore, which is a shame because I love her mandalas. But yeah, I've got this 100 colour by number mysteries. I've seen this on a few channels, and I thought I have a mixed relationship with like these sort of pixel dot type pictures. Like sometimes I like them, and sometimes I don't like them. Like they seem a lot of effort for not much reward. Sometimes it depends. But I've seen someone work on this, and this is the one with the black background, and it looked really good. I was like, you know what? Let's give it a crack. And I'm really glad I did because I so enjoyed this picture. So I've decided to start the work back and work forwards because you get the alcohol marker bleed through, and like yes, you can read it still, but it's easier. So I thought let's just go for it. So I've got a little love robot who's got his flower, and as a first picture, I was like, yeah, I like that. And the other thing I discovered is because it's got the black background and because all the lines are filled in, means I can just colour it in and I don't have to worry about bleed. And it made it so much easier, like not having to babysit each square, which you sometimes have to do with other of these pixel arts. So that was good. In fact, that was so good, and this is rare. I literally, as soon as I finished that one, I went to the next one, which the next one was okay. It wasn't quite as good. It's like a stream with flowers, and I don't know what this is. It's either like snow on something, or it's just like they've done the sky, but it's white. They're just white, but it could just be the horizon. I don't know, but yeah, it's okay, and I really like this book, so I'm definitely going to be doing more. They've got like all sorts of circle ones and square ones. Well, they've got 100 of them. So this is 100 colour by numbers, and it is by Pixel Colorist, and yeah, expect to be seeing more of that in the future. Okay, Colour Me Capybaras, which is possibly the cutest book ever. I love this book. I've got I love they got the colour test chart and it just says it's their hashtag. It's like, okay, that's a hint. So I've only done one picture in here so far. It's a relatively recent purchase. I did this picture in, when did I do it? Did I not put, oh, there's the date. So I did it in October. So this was a mixed blessing though. Well, not a mixed blessing, just, yeah, I mixed feelings. So I like colouring flowers, and there's so many cute pictures. I do have a flip through of this book. I've got a flip through of most of these books. If you want to look at any of them, go and have a look in my flip throughs playlist. And if it's not, if you need something, then just drop me a comment and I will do a flip through for you. But there's so many cute pictures in here. And but I saw the flowers. I was like, oh, I love colouring flowers. It'd be great. So I coloured it. And then I was just like, I'm not very good at colouring fur. And he's massive. I mean, it's fine. I'm okay with smaller ones. Like this stuff is usually what I go for because it's only a small area. Yeah, and I did not. And that's why he's a bit... I put a little bit of a base one, but I kind of flicked it to try and make it fur-like. But he's still got a little bit patchy. But, I mean, he's all right. He's all right. He's not bad. He's just not very good either. But I do like the flowers. So I will be back to this book this year, I think, because just like this book is amazing. It's absolutely... Oh, it's so cute. But I goofed with my first selection to colour from here. So that is Colour Me Capybaras. It is by Cider Mill Press book publishers, but the artist, she does a few things, is Ella Jajabek. And yeah, I really like her style. She has some other colouring books. I'll have to pick them up at some point. Oh, we got a little... panda fell out. What a surprise. Somebody must have sneezed on the other side. Right. Okay. So my Halloween book, I did one out of this for Halloween. So this is not a black background for a change. They do have a black background version, I think, though. If I remember, I'll link both versions because the black is better, but this came out first and I bought it. And it is by... Who's it by? Oh, yeah, I know. I just said Colour Crestopia. So I did this one, which, again, is the one where you have to fill in the lines. Only, you know, they have grids, so it makes it a lot easier to... I think I used my silver, what's it called? The thingy, the blue mad. And yeah, just alcohol markers. A nice, straightforward, simple one. I do try and do some, like at least one picture out of these sort of seasonal books because, you know, otherwise, yeah, I think I'll need to start doing some like halfway to Halloween or something because I don't get the chance to do them much. And this, I don't know how many pictures are in here. Probably like 30 or something. I don't want to be doing this for the next 30 years of my life. So I need to up my game. But that is that one. And yeah, Scary Mosaic Fantasy by Colour Crestopia. This one. I've actually finished this book. So this is One Colour Relaxation Art Animal Stencils by Sunlife Drawing. Now the concept behind this book is that you're supposed to only do them in one colour and it's like a silhouette type thing. Obviously, I like to make work for myself, so I do not do these in one colour. But I did actually finish this book. I love this book. I finished this on the 27th of March. Gosh, it feels like yesterday. And where's the year? Where did the year go? So I did the cover page, which again I used in this Giotto pen for the text, and like you just cannot hardly see any colour. It just looks like a regular water-based marker. But I guarantee I'll have to take a picture if I remember one day to show what this is like if I have this on at night. Perhaps I should have put my flash on. But anyway, I digress. So I did this one. And I think he was actually black already. So I only actually coloured in the text. Here's the real deal. But that's not one I did this year. So I did my snails on the toadstools. We all love a toadstool. A little ladybird. And then I did... So you can see what I mean. I never used the one colours, even though I could. Again, I've used a Giotto, but I've used a blue one. So the clouds are actually sparkly in certain circumstances. I've got my giraffes. And then... yeah. Then I did this one. So much like I was saying about how the nicety metallics, I don't use metallics that much. So I was looking for ways to use up my metallic blue mads. I mean, I probably wouldn't buy the multi-pack anymore. I would just buy the packs of white and black, because you did get two of each of these pens in the pack, and I'm like, I do not use silver that much. So anyway, I went for a nice silver, what's it called? Stag deer thing, and black. So it's like a very monotone type page. I actually like that, and I don't usually put that fill in the lines, but he felt appropriate to fill in the lines. I think when I did it originally, and he looked silver, he looked a bit wishy washy because the background is white, but the black just gave him some oomph. And then I did, which way around is this? I did the kitty, which is Kitty's in the Giotto. Is this in the Giotto? Yeah, no, they're both Giottos. That would be super blingy at night. Instead, it just looks like, yeah, an orange cat. But orange and sort of like a sort of aqua bluish type thing. It does go well together. It's a good combo. And then I did this one, which is the only one I wasn't overly happy about. Again, I feel like I got a bit carried away putting in too many colours. I've got like the browns and the yellows. I've got the pinks. I've got like a sort of terracotta. I've got two greens. Then I've got the brown. Then I've got another brown. I was just like, oh, just stop. So I did feel that I got a little bit carried away with the colours. I probably should have made that flower the same as that and just kept the pink out of it. And yeah, anyway, whatever. He's okay. He does the job, but he's definitely not a one colour, is he? It's like 6, 7 colours. So that is that one. And like I say, I did finish this book, so I've got a flip through video. If I remember, and a fill out. If I remember at the end of the video, I will leave a link up in the corner to if you're interested in seeing what I've done with the rest of the book. But that is my only ever completed colouring book. Maybe that'll be a mission for this year to finish something else. So yeah, art animal stencils, one colour relaxations for Sunlife drawing. I've got another Halloween book that I forgot about. So this is Spooky and Cute Halloween Animals colouring book. So this is by Miriam Sherry. And I actually was sent this one for review. Well, not for a review, to, show a flip through. And it's a really, really cute book. I do not generally tend to do the cute and cozy. I'm not in on that fad. And this is like a sort of A4 version of it. I do have a flip through of this one if you want to check it out. But I did this one for Halloween. And I had these visions of it all being at night and like misty, foggy type spooky thing. But I think in a way, because I use chalk pastels. My chalk pastels. What do I use? These are my go-tos. These are pretty much the only chalk pastels I have. It's the Mungyo ones, the 64 colours. I use them for everything. They were so cheap. I think they only cost me £10 or £11. I'm still going strong. These pop up regularly on my channel. And yeah, if you're looking for a budget pastel, then I highly recommend these. Yeah, I use chalk pastel for the background, and then I've got alcohol marker for the base. You see how bright the alcohol marker is. I really got carried away with like putting like white and also yellow, like luminous yellow background, and I think it just kind of muddied the colours. For his eyes and stuff, I used the, what do you call them? The Sakura Jelly Roll Glaze for the black, just so he's like that kind of 3Ds, and also for their eyes. But yeah, it is a cute book though, especially if you like cats. If you like cats, and I think many cats. Anyway, I want to do a flip through. That's not what this video is about. I have got a flip through of this in a video elsewhere. So that is Spooky and Cute Halloween Animal Colouring Book by Miriam Sherry. Okay, so we have another mandala colouring book from Camellia Ranchkova. I like this one, but it's one that I only come to occasionally because this is like, highly detailed mandalas, and she is not lying. So there are a lot of details in this. It's the type of thing that helps you go cross-eyed if you work on them too long. So I every now and again I do one. So I did this one. I used the Langro gel pens. I actually used the same Langro gel pens that I used in one of the black background mandalas that I showed earlier in the video. It's called the highlighter set, but here, because it's got the white background, they almost look kind of pastel. So it does make a difference what your background is to how a colour will come out. But I really like this. But you see what I mean about how detailed it is. Like, look at all these things that loop inside, and yeah, it kept me quiet for a while. I did this over at least two or three different sessions because, like, it just sent me cross-eyed. But I do like how it come out. Yeah, really good book this, but one that I only tackle, like, I have to be in the right frame of mind to tackle something like this. Next, we have our colour by numbers Tetris. So this is by Kira. I wanted to say Kara, and it did not sound right. Kira Shershniva. So I did one from here. This is another book that I had a mixed. I did one picture in here before this one, and you know, when your first picture that you do, you don't really like it. It kind of put me off the book. I was like, is this a valley? Are these like lavender fields, or is this like a volcano and this is blowing up? If I can't tell what the picture is, then then it's a fail. Anyway, so I did this one and I can tell what the picture is, so I was happy. Obviously, we've got a windmill, we've got our tulip fields for Amsterdam. So that is that one. This is one of them ones, if you're not seeing it, like, you don't have any numbers in it just gives you the outline of the colour it should be in. And yeah, so that's why it's called Colour by Colours by Kira Sheshneva. 2021, I just doesn't feel like I've had some of these books for so long, but there you go. Next, I have Intricate Flowers by Jade Summer, and I've only done one picture out of here. Again, you'll see a theme with me and, you know, these pens. So this has got silver, gold, and black in them, and it was all done with the Blue Mads. Again, a limited palette. It does have this nice sheen to it. Obviously, only the black and the gold. I do really like this, and there's something about it. I don't know if it's the limited palette or just how it pops against the black, but this was one that I enjoyed doing it. It's not even a difficult. It's kind of a mandala, isn't it? But I was doing all these leaves, and I just found it really satisfying. It's obviously a bit of a no-brainer. You don't have to think much. Once you've picked your colours and what you're going to do, then it's very easy to do. But I was just like, yeah, this was a good one to zone out on, and I really like that final effect, even though I'm not sure how well. This is why I have a mixed feelings as well about metallics. Like, sometimes metallics, like, they're very sort of, they are shiny, but it's like a dull shine. I like the bling, so yeah. That is that one. Intricate Flowers by Jay Summer. I love this book. Okay, we're nearly out of the easy colorings, and we'll soon be moving into my Disney coloring books and also my more detailed books like Johanna Basford and stuff like that. So this is a colour by number by Seng Ong. I've seen some of Seng Ong's books shown on other people's finished pages, and I was like, I really caught my eye because there's something about it that they're not difficult, they're not complicated pictures, and yet they do come out really well. I love this. I love this, and I would have done more. I did this in late July, and it's just that I feel like this is quite a sort of spring book. Look, there's like palm trees, and it's just I've not been in the mood for it, but I'm itching to do it. I keep picking it up. I'm like, nah, but I will be doing more in this book, and I love this style, and I think I might pick up some more of Seng Ong's books if they're all like this. 40 designs. I do need to do some more in this one though before I buy another one. That is my mission for 2026. Make sure I colour in the books I own before buying more. But yeah, so that is Stained Glass Colourful Birds by Seng Ong. Right, 100 Best Adult Colour by Numbers. So this is by Sunlife Drawing. Like I say, I took a huge break for like 2.5 years. A lot of books come out while I was gone. I was just like, I'm not buying all the books. Because I quite like this style, but I don't want to do them all the time. I thought, do you know what? Let's get some of these compilation books. So I did buy this one. Do you know what? Let's get the worst one out of the way with first, because there is a story behind this. So this is the first one I ever did in this book, and I used these. So that was part of the thing, and I wanted, because I'd never used the acrylic markers at all before anyway, This was like, I picked the page that I didn't think I would like very much, and it was to be my test page. And then I did it, and I found out I didn't like it very much, but it just made me hate it, when in reality I should have been like, but that's exactly why you chose this page in the first place. My brain, like, sometimes I cannot reason with it. Anyway, it's a shoe, and it's got some flowers in it. But you can see what I mean about why I thought it was watery. I don't know. Hopefully you can see it in here. But like, this has got 2, 3, 4 coats of those acrylic markers. Meanwhile, this one was the nicety ones, and like, even though that's pink, you can still not see through it after a couple of coats. Like the blue, a couple of coats here, I can see the numbers showing through, barely. This is again, but this is the dopamine from the Langro. See through, see through, see through. Like not a little bit see through, but like very see through. And I'm like the paper actually started to crinkle because of how wet these pens were. Anyway, so that's this picture. I dislike this picture, and I dislike the Langro acrylic markers, the ones with the grooves. And that's part of the reason why. So we got that one over and done with. And then I went back to page 1, and I thought, let's play safe. We'll do it with alcohol markers, because you can't go wrong with alcohol markers. So I've done this one, which I'm pretty sure I've done this picture before. I feel like it might have been given away during the lurgy that shall not be named by them on the PDF, because I remember doing this. So I'll have to look through my loose coloured pages. Keep meaning to do it. And then we've got this one. I like this one. Little Buzzy Bee. There's just my pen was running out there, though. That's the annoying thing. So it's a little bit blotchy, but it is what it is. We'll just call it Is Fuzz. And then I've got a little kitty cats. This one was done in acrylic markers. I think I actually prefer to do regular alcohol markers in these books now, because again, the paper crinkled. I mean, this was still like the Langro ones, whereas these ones are the, I don't know, I don't think I'd got my Guangnars by then, so they're probably the niceties. But yeah, it's just like, it makes the paper crinkly, so I think I'll just stick with alcohol markers from now on. And then in the back here, because then afterwards I was like, do you know what, let's, instead of dealing with all these colours on the back, let's work backwards. So there was a load of Christmas ones at the back, which I forgot about this Christmas, so they didn't get done. But I went to this one. So this is Fantasy Girls, which came in 2023, and I like this one. So that is that. This is a really good value book if you want, you know, because obviously it's just a few pages out of each of their books. And yeah, it's a nice variety, and it's got all the sorts of ones. So it's got the mosaics and the Tetris and stuff like that, even some mandalas. So yeah, Sunlife drawing. Okay, so apart from my Disney ones, I think this is my last colour by number that I've got to show. So this is a Creative Haven book, Glorious Gardens by George Toufexis, very well known illustrator for colour by numbers. He does very detailed ones. So this one, I have a bit of a love-hate with it. So this one, as you can see, I've placed the black background on it. They look like this. So what they do is they have a grey outline so that the lines don't pop up so much, and also so the numbers don't pop up so much. And I did this, but it was such a battle. And the reason for this, and I think it's because I diamond paint. I also have a diamond painting channel, by the way. It's linked below if you're interested. But when you diamond paint, like when they do the grid, because there is so many symbols and numbers and whatever all sitting next to each other, they go to quite an effort to make sure that they don't have capital B's next to 8s, for example, because when they're small and when they're grey, like, they're really difficult to read. So and there was a lot of that, like and then there was typo, because like this little orange thing had the wrong number on, and it was like, it's 15, which is 15. No, this one was wrong. 14 is meant to be grey. I'm like, but I've already done that one and it's orange. Fortunately, I'd done that one first. I thought that doesn't look right, so I thought I'll have a look at the picture. This picture, because it's so detailed, it's also tiny, but it is orange, so they had a typo in it for a start. But that was my other thing, just like, if you're going to make such a detailed color by number picture, like maybe make the reference picture a little bit bigger so that you can actually see when something isn't very clear here. You can go, oh yeah, no, that's not an 8, which would be red. It's a B, which would be green. Do you know what I mean? So it does look good though. I do like how it came out, but just after that, it's a shame because I've been looking forward to this book. The first page, at least, was a bit of it was a pain in the backside, to be honest. Maybe I'll flip through and see if I can find like a simpler one or one that's like that. So that the colours are going to be a bit more binary, and then after that, I'd like to get rid of that experience. But yeah, so on this one, it didn't have a B, but it had I think it was like things like 16s, which was a pink, and 18s, which was the dark red, and like the 6 and the 8 looked just so similar. I'm like, oh, I'll just go cross-eyed. I resorted in the end to getting my phone out and taking a picture of it so that I could look at it on screen and like actually see it at a reasonable resolution. But anyway, that I've gone on a wibble. But yeah, that is Glorious Gardens, colour by number, George Toufexis. Right, I think what I'll do is next I will do my sort of more detailed pages, and then I'll finish up with all my Disney colorings. So this is, as you can see, Johanna Basford's Small Victories. I did a couple of pictures out here. I like this concept of book. She's got another one coming out in February or March, I think. Definitely getting that. But I've done 2 pictures in here. So this is the first one I did, and I treated it exactly how it's meant to be treated, in that I would do 2 or 3 of these flowers or whatever, and then I'd put the book down and then just come back to it another day. So bit by bit I worked through this. I used these. I don't know how I managed to scuff up this tin. Oh no, it's glue by the looks of it. I don't know what I've been doing. Anyway, so I used the Amazon Basics coloured pencils, which I'd only just bought at the time, so it was a good way to test the page. These are very sort of hard pencils, but they've got a lot of punch. They've got a lot of pigment. I've never had the Crayola pencils, but I feel like from what I've heard, I feel like these might be quite similar. So these are quite smooth, like they're not scratchy pencils. They're nice and smooth and sort of creamy, but they're also very hard, and they do not blend barely at all, and they are very hard to layer as well. Like you need a lot of patience if you want to do anything other than straight colouring, basically. But they're so cheap. I mean, I paid next to nothing for them. They are super cheap, so it's all relative. Probably a good starter set if you like pressing hard with your pencils. But anyway, those are the basics, and that is what I used for these. I'll bring this a bit closer because this is only a small book. But yeah, the only regret I have is I did this kind of background on a couple of them, which I kind of like but don't like. I probably would have liked it if I'd done them in different pencils, basically. But because I couldn't like fade it out very well, it could have been user error. That is also possible. But yeah, I was like, I did it a couple of times. I'm like, no, I can't make it work. Let's just go stick with the plain ones. And I've got a little bit of white gel pen here and there just to give some highlights. But yeah, pretty straightforward but fun. And I did, like I say, I did it exactly how she's kind of intended this book to be. I probably did pick this up like easily a dozen times to do these pictures, because there's like 5, 10, 15, 20, because there's like 35 pictures here. So yeah. And then the other picture I've done in here, which I've only just thought about it like that way. I didn't intend it to be like a test book, but I did this with my Halloween pencils, which were very kindly sent to me for for transparency. I did receive these pencils for free, and in the video where I was like, I unboxed and I did some tests. If you are interested in seeing, let me just get this lid off. I'll tell you one of the things I like about this lid. It's little things sometimes, isn't it? That it's a black one and not like that foily, silver, reflective silver. And there's my swatch sheet. But these are really nice pencils. They are nice pencils. They're oil-based, which makes you feel like they could be quite hard. But they're not. They're not really. They are quite soft. They do blend, and that was what I was doing in this video. If you want to see how, I shouldn't leave them there, should I? That would be a good starter set, but also a lot of us like to have multiple sets of pencils, and sometimes you want to like mix sets, or you want to see where a set will fit in with your other sets. And so I did a lot of testing in that video. Well, not testing, comparison, where I was seeing, you know, is this softer than Prisma, and is this scratchier than Luminance, and how it all played with like Black Widows. So if you want to see how these pencils would fit in with a pencil set that you already own, that is a good video to check out. But I did that, and this particular picture I did with Prismas and the Haloas. I used both. I had a red from the Prisma and a red from the Haloas, and I had greens, and I mixed and matched because I wanted to see if I could use, like, sometimes I don't have a full set of Prismas, so sometimes if I'm missing a colour, I might look for another set, and I just wanted to see how they all got on. And do you know what? They got on fine, and the Haloa blended surprisingly well. They're not, obviously, I don't think anything will ever be like a Prisma for like that kind of smushiness when it comes to blending, but they did work really well for something that's oil based, because when you say oil based, you automatically start to think of things like polychromos. But yeah, no, they work well, and I did that, and I really like this picture. I should have saved this picture for Valentine's Day, shouldn't I? But there you go. But yeah, I didn't intentionally make this book into a testing new pencils book, but there you go. That's how it works. So yeah, that is Small Victories, a colouring book of little wins and miniature masterpieces by Johanna Basford. Let's do all my Johanna Basfords. So this is Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. To be honest, I haven't done much in this. I haven't done any of the main story pages. So the two I did was I did the back. It's not the back page, but there was a page that I did in the front long ago, from before my break, that I did. It was just like this sort of introduction page, and it just had this banner around it. And then I saw this, and it's got all the same vibes because it's got the vines and the leaves. I thought, do you know what? Because I knew what I'd used. It was my Pentel hybrid dual metallics, you know, the ones that colour shift. So I knew exactly what I'd used. So I just pulled them out again, and I did this to like kind of match. I'll have to have a look through the book and see if there's any more pages like this, just so it has some consistency. Do like a little bit of bling. And then the other thing I did was like kind of the opposite, because I think I've done the intro page in here. Yeah, so I've done the nameplate page. So I thought, oh, I may as well do the end page as well. I don't know what it is with me, the start and end, but I've not done any in the middle. But yeah, I think I used my Black Widows for these. I can't actually remember. They look like Black Widows. And then I've got my dual metallic there, which is like the little pink butter. You know, it's like it's pink and blue, and then blue and whatever. But it does colour shift, and I like it. Like it a lot. So that's that. And it's like she did have some dots in here. There's like sort of pollen, which I went over with a glitter gel pen, and then I just added some more of my own, just because you can't emit too much bling in my book. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but this is all shiny. The butterfly is shiny, the pollen is shiny, the rest is pencil. So that is the two pictures I did out of Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. Secret Garden. As you can see, I have coloured the front cover. There is a story behind that, and the story is that I am an animal. This is probably one of the, like many people, this is one of the first books I've got that I bought. So this is going on at least 6 years old now, and yeah, it's been through the wars. You can see why I coloured the front. I should really colour the back as well. This is like, yeah, it just got chucked everywhere. It's just grubby. It's been in the wars, so I coloured the cover because, you know, that's what you do when you want to cover up a mess. You just colour it in. Anyway, I've only done one in here, and I usually, pages like this, I don't do pages like this very often for obvious reasons. It's like, it's not a wallpaper page, but it's only like one step away from a wallpaper page. So it's got this maze and a little buzzy bee. But it's, you know, and I don't know, I was in a mood, and I just wanted that kind of mindlessness. like the repetition. That's what I wanted, because obviously there's only 2 colours that I used for the leaves. Actually, I think there's 4 colours, because I've used 2 colours. Each of these leaves are blended, so there's a light one and a dark one. So there was 2 colours for this light green and 2 colours for the dark green. And then on the maize, you can see I've started light blue and dark blue, and then the blue starts to move into the purple, and then the purple into the pink. We've still got little bits of blue here, so it just like fades in. And then I've got the flower in the middle. I've got a little bit of dual metallic on the outline of that flower. And I've got a little bit of, I think I used, it's my go-to for like fuzz, I use what are they called? I think they're the Stardust, isn't it? The one with the star. That would make sense. So it's the Jelly Roll Stardust, because they have such fine glitter, like for gold and things like that. Like sometimes you get lots of black speckles in gold because that's how the light reflects on it. But I always find the Sakura ones, because it's so much finer. It's almost like a mica. So I always use that for fuzz and leaves. But yeah, that took me a hot minute to do, but it's what I needed at the time. I don't know why. I wasn't having a particularly bad time. I just needed to zone out and have some colours. So that's what I did. So that is Secret Garden by Johanna Basford, which I'm sure needed no explaining. So I've got one picture in here that I've done. If you've been around on my channel, you will recognise it. So this is one that I did for an event last January. So I started it in January. When did I finish it? I finished it in September. It took me a while. So obviously limited palette. So this is what I did for the pink and black event that is hosted primarily. They are diamond painting creators. So it's Craftish Kristen and Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting. They host an event called Pink and Black, and it is primarily a diamond painting event, but you are invited to just do whatever you like. If you want to just do something with pink and black and have fun is basically the rules of that event. So that's what I did, and it's just, this did turn into a bit of a labour. Again, I've used those Mungyo pastels for the background, and then I really like how the swan's head has come out. You know how sometimes you just get one bit right, and I did that, and I was just like, I really like how that has come out. That along with his beak. But yeah, so I used Prismacolor pencils for the whole thing, apart from the background. I did use a pink Langro gel pen. I thought, should I use white? And then I was like, do you know what? It's just going to pull the pigment anyway. I think I used white here, I used white on that as well, and it did pull the pigment. For some reason, it did not pull it from there. I do not understand the reasons why. Sometimes it pulls the pigment, and sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, this one I used like the luminous pink for her butt, and yeah, I do like how it came out. I do. I do like a limited palette sometimes, and this one really works. It was quite hard work though, I'm not gonna lie. It was not because it was samey, but just because like there was a lot of black and a lot of blending into the pinks and blacks, and like I wanted it to be smooth. But yeah, she came out well, and I do like her. So yeah, it did take me nearly, well, I think about 8 months to do, because I started that at the end of January. This is what I started in my very first video when I came back to the channel. So that is that one, Worlds of Wonder, Johanna Basford. All right, next. We're talking of worlds, but this is Worlds Within Worlds. So this is by Kirby Rosanis. I'm sure you all recognise this. This is an old book. This is the only picture I've coloured in here. It was a whip from before I took my break, and it was a double page spread. And obviously it's the nameplate page and the title page. And yeah, so I did all this in Arteza watercolor pencils. Hang on, these things, I don't know if they still make these. Let me just do this. Oh, let me do it this way because the light will shine in the lid. So yeah, if I just have a little bit to do, I just pull a bit of pigment off the nib, or I just pencil it in very gently and then fill it in that way. So I'm not very proficient at using watercolors, so yeah, it's we do the best we can. I do think it came out all right. I won't say it's anything amazing, but I am quite happy with it considering how not good I am at watercolour painting. It's a little bit crinkly. I used Black Widow pencils over the top. Now, fortunately, before my break, I'd actually bundled up all the pencils, the watercolour pencils, and the Black Widows in an elastic band, and it had been sitting there. And I had this pile of pencils, and it was such a big pile that was grouped together. I was like, I didn't put them away when I had my big destash and tidy up and declutter. I thought there's a reason for that. And then eventually I found this picture, and I was like, that's what they're for. So thankfully, I was able to come in and mostly like get it to match. I don't think if you look at that either side would look different. Before my break, I had fortunately done all the trees, so I didn't have to worry about there being a line difference. I'd done all the woodwork. I'd done probably about 90% of this page, and probably about 50% of this page. So all the tree was done. A couple of the animals was done, I think, and the toadstools and whatever. But for the most part, I had to do all this and try and get it to match. And I had to do this. This did not exist in this middle. So I had to try and get it to match, which was interesting. So I did that, and then I was just like, oh no, I've done that too dark. So then I had to make that one darker again, add some more pigment to it. But I think I got away with it. And I do like how it came out. It took me a hot minute. Well, it took me several years if you include the fact that I took a break. But yeah, it does look good, I think. And I'm very happy with that. And yeah, so that is that. So like I say, I use the Arteza watercolour pencils for the base. And all of this, I mean, I've not put pencil over the top of this. I've put pencil in here, like where some of the shadow is, it's almost like grayscale, isn't it? Is sketchy pictures. For all intents and purposes, this is like all watercolor pencils with like maybe 30% regular pencil over the top. And yeah, came out a treat. It's the only picture I've done in this book. I really must do more in here. But that is World Within Worlds by Kirby Rosanis. Circle of Life by Melpomene Chatzipangiotto. And this was another picture that I'd started before my break. I did go through a phase where I was just like, let's try and get some of the older whips off. I've still got lots more to go. That's the mission for this year, to see if I can finish more whips. So this is obviously my Bumblebee hive, and maybe some might call it sacrilege. I did base some of it in alcohol marker, and I'm not a fan of the bugs, so I wasn't that bothered about using alcohol marker for it, because I've got so many pages to do, so many books and so many pages. The chances of me getting to this page before I drop down dead is slim. But if I ever do, then I can still work with this. It's not that bad. You can colour over the top and you can disguise it and whatever. So if I ever did on a whim want to save this page, I could. But yeah, again, you can see the trusty Mungios. I've used blues and oranges and yellows in there. And I used, what was the pencils? I used my luminance for the flowers and the leaves. I don't know what I used for this. That looks different. I don't know what I've used for that. Pink and yellow. But I don't think that maybe I used Prismas. But that looks like a different pencil. Well, who knows? I've used black Jelly Roll glaze for the black stripes on the bumblebees to make them pop. And again, I've used the Sakura Stardust for their wings and their bodies. I told you, didn't I? The fuzz. I like that fine mica style of gel pen for like things like wings and small details like that. And yeah, so there was a lot of pencils in here. It was a straightforward picture to do. There's just lots of bits. Do you know what I mean? Lots of bits, lots of little circles and leaves and whatever's. And I didn't want them. I wanted this to be orange. I wanted this to be like, because it's the hive, and so I was obviously had a limited palette in there. And but I wanted a color. I wanted to the work with the purples and stuff. And so yeah, I mean, I do quite like it. No, I do. I more than quite like it. I do like this picture. I'm glad I finished it. I think maybe I might go back to these pink flowers. They look a bit lost. Maybe it just needs like a little bit of some you know, gel pen highlights or something. But aside from that, I do really like how the background worked. The only thing is like, again, I've got a fingerprint there, I think. But yeah, it worked. And it was really nice to just get one of these old whips out the way with. I have coloured in this book before, but I think this is only the second picture. I don't know where it is. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm not here to show. This video is going on long enough without me showing other pictures I didn't do this year. But yeah, so that is that one, Circle of Life by Melpomene Chatzipanagiotou. Right, and on to Mythographic, Colour and Discover Animals. So this is by Joseph Kattenbang, and I did another watercolour picture out of here. So this is, like I say, I'm not very good with watercolours, and I did flood the paper a little bit. We're very crinkly, very, very crinkly. I used one of those water brush pens, you know, that has the water chamber and that comes out, and I feel like I don't really like that, because sometimes you use it and like there's not much water, and then next minute, you know, you use it and like the water's all come out and it's kind of flooded, and it's just like I've used a couple of different pens and they all seem to do it. So I don't know, maybe it's me, user error, but I can't get on with them, and I cannot control the water very well. Anyway, so up here I've got the sun. I don't know if you can see it, because it is like kind of shiny. I've got a metallic, what's it called? Metallic watercolors. They're these things, which are by, do you know what? I bought these off of AliExpress, and I can never remember the names of them. Semi, something like that. I will link them below if you're interested. I bought them as a sort of more budget alternative to things like the Kuretake type metallics. And they are really nice watercolors. Look at the colors on this. I did it on white and on black, just so you could see them. And well, not so you could see them. So I did them so I could see them, but they work really well. And I use them quite a lot. Well, I don't use them enough, but I use them quite a lot over water and things like that as well. But just to give that bit of shimmer. But I'll link them. I think they was not expensive, maybe £10 or £12 for that set. But you do need to buy them from AliExpress. So if you're not comfortable from AliExpress, I don't think I've seen them anywhere else. Anyway, I'm going off topic. This is what I used for like this sun glow. I had this vision, like, because he's like a sort of Amazon monkey, and he's deep in the forest, and the sun is just peeking through the treetops. But that's why it gets so dark down here. It's not nighttime. It's just he's in the forest. And I went on a mission here because there is not a single bit of pencil on here. I wanted to do it to bring in like I'm trying to learn how to use watercolors. And the thing I learned from here, this was a learning process, was one, that I didn't like the water pen brush. I am not very patient when it comes to the layers drying, because you need to let watercolors dry properly before you put on your next coat to make it darker. So these are the things I learned. But overall, I mean, it's not going to win any prizes, but he's all right. I like him. And unfortunately, because it's the older books, is the one with the hidden objects. I'm like, so what do I want to do with these hidden objects? Do I want to use them as contrast and like make them black or gold or something like that and make them pop? Or do I want to cover them up and pretend they're not there? So I went for the cover up and pretend they're not there. Camouflage. So we've got the toilet paper down here, and a telephone, and there's all sorts of like the nunchucks and the skateboard and his butt, and then up here the potato chips. I mean, they just have such odd choices. Like, there's a pizza cutter. It's like, what? I don't understand. I do not understand why they have to have such. I mean, really, why are we putting toilet paper in a nice picture of a monkey? The choices they made no sense. I probably wouldn't hate hidden objects so much if they'd used like better objects. Anyway, rant over. I've tried to camouflage them as best I can, so at least, you know, they are hidden. You can see them, but you have to kind of look for them. But this did take a while to do. Like I say, much was learned, but I do like how he turned out. So that is that one. That's Mythographic Animals by Joseph Cattenbang. Right, and on to my Disney ones. By the way, if you are here and still watching, first of all, thank you. You're very patient because I do talk a lot. But I appreciate, I don't know, shall we have an emoji? Shall we have, let's do the monkey that we just looked at. I'd appreciate a monkey in the comments to let me know that you are still here. And yeah, let's get on to my Disney Poupée. So this is the bookmarks one. Now, talking of those metallic watercolor paints, I did use that on the background of this, and obviously they're not water. I felt like I wanted a little bit of shimmer in my life on this, so I think I used what did I use? So I think what I did initially is I used a little bit of alcohol marker just for her because I wanted her colors to pop, and then I used do you know, I can't remember. It's either Black Widows or Prisma. I can't actually remember. But it doesn't matter. I like how she turned out. And then obviously I used a white gel pen to put some highlights on here. I'm not sure if I like that I put it on here, but whatever. Well, once it was on there, what's done is done. Got a few highlights in here, that the speckles of gold, and I used some blue gold hybrid gel pen on there. They don't really stand out that much because I've used the metallic watercolor paint on the background to just give it some shine. That probably doesn't jump out as much as I thought it would, but it's okay. And she's very cute, and I do like her. A little mini Tinkerbell. I love this Disney Poupée kind of theme, this concept. I haven't actually finished anything from here, but I did put some background on something because I was testing out. What was I doing? On both of them. I was testing out what you know, when you scribble a bit of a, what's it called? You know, the Crayolas, when you put them on the sheet or a plate or something like that, and then you use a water brush to pick it up. I was testing that, so I tried that on some water later on. So maybe one of these I will do during 2026, since I've actually got some of the background there. So obviously it's a mini Ursula and a mini Eric. I had to think there for a minute what his name was. But yeah, so that is that one. I did that, when did I do that? In June. And it was a pleasure. And I do like these sort of bookmarks. I don't do them anywhere near as often as I should, but they are such a nice little thing to do because obviously they're small, but they're a proper picture. Look at this one. I love that. So that is, again, from Hachette Heroes. And talking of Petite Poupée, here it is again, one of the bigger ones. So this is the colour by number version, coloriage. I won't show you the solutions. I did do a comparison video of this. There's a Petite Poupée, which is like a regular colouring book, and then there's this one. They're both about the same size. And yeah, so I did a comparison there where I did like literally how many pictures overlap, and you know, because there are some, but some of them, most of them are new. But I thought I would compare, because you know, you might only want to buy one of the books, but if they're both completely different, you might want to buy both the books. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, this is I did this one. I did the first one, which might have been a mistake because I mean, these pictures are so detailed, and I did know that going in, but like I'm not sure if I was ready. And again, I had that situation like I did with the George Toufexis one. Like some of these, at least it's not as grey as the other ones, but some of them in the areas, like here, like you can see on this one, like the tiny cells. And like once you figure out the first one, it's like, oh yeah, that's a one, and then you can do the rest. But when they all appear next to each other, which up here there was like a lot of, like there's two types of grey in here, and then there's the blues, and like it was just like so much small cells next to other small cells that had similar, yeah, because you know this is there's so many colours. So that this did take me a hot minute to do. I took me all month to do. Basically, I would come into it and I would do like the corner, and I'd be like, right, that's it, I'm cross-eyed, let's go and do something else, and I'd put it down and come back to it another day. But I do like how she came out. She's just go. Shame this colour was not ideal. Mostly I did this with my you know, my Guangna acrylic acrylic marker brushes, which I am a big fan of. If you've just seen my Christmas presents, I got my other half to buy me the 288 set of acrylic markers from Guangna, so I'm really excited about those. And I used the Langro gel pens for some of the colours that I didn't have, which are great for these small details. But I found, like, I used the Langro gel pen on, I think, here, and like, I don't know what it is about them, but like, you only have to look at them and like you get like a scratch on them, and it like changes the colour. So yeah, I think, nice as they are to do small details, because obviously they got the fine tip, I don't like them, because I had to come around at the end and redo them all, so that because otherwise they was all scratchy. Did not like. But yeah, I do love how she turns out. And now that I've got the big set of 288s, hopefully I can get better colour matches than like the sunburn under the sea. But yeah, that's the only picture I've done out of this book, but I will be doing more because it's really fun. But just, I think it's one of these ones I've got to be in the right mood for it, because it's so complicated. But the payoff, look at the payoff. The payoff is so good. Right, we've got a little pixel art. Like I said earlier in the video, I have a bit of a mixed feelings about pixel arts. And yeah, so this one I thought I would try it with acrylic marker. Now, the nice thing about acrylic marker is that if you make a mistake, you can fix it, because it's opaque. So you just go over the top and then you fix your mistakes. And needless to say, I always make mistakes. And she does come out really well. She comes out about a bit better on camera than she does in person. But yeah, I do like how it come out. I'm conflicted, because this is, I'll show you one of the ones I've done before where I've done it in, where is it? I've got, there he is. So I did this one in, do you know what? I want to say that I used my Faber-Castell Pitt brush pens for this, because it has that kind of inky feel. And they have really nice colours. They're like, but they're always sort of a bit muted and earthy. And I do like how this come out. So I'm conflicted, because obviously you can see the trouble is I get like a bit twitchy about streaks, and you can see anytime you overlap a colour, it gets darker. So that's a bit patchy. But I do like how he came out. So I am uncertain. I mean, I suppose I'm overthinking this really, because there's nothing to say I can't do them both ways. Like, I just do whatever I want, but I have to think about these things. You know what I'm like. But yeah, that was fun, and I was glad to get another one out of this book done. This was a lot quicker to do as well, because by doing with the acrylic paint pen, it's a lot quicker than having to do it with a regular felt tip. So that is Mickey and Friends 40 colorage pixel art. I unfortunately do not think this book is still available. I'm not sure. If I can find it, I will link it. But I have a feeling I heard that this is no longer available, so you don't even get it on if someone destashed it. All right, next one is a big one. So this is the Disney Vitro Tome 2. And yeah, I've only done, this was the first picture I'd done out of this book. So it was good for Colour Your Hoard. Now, where is it? That was hard to find than it should be. I've only done one picture, so I didn't bother to flag it. But apparently I could not find it. So this was a labour. Let's start with what I based it with, because this is really nice, smooth paper. I based it with super tips, because super tips don't really streak in here. They go on pretty smooth. So I based it all with super tips, and I did like the light orange and a darker orange to be like the base. And then I did the same with here. I did a lighter blue and a darker blue. And then what I decided, and then I used the pencils to do the shading for the mosaic. And I used those Amazon Basics again, which I feel was a strategic mistake. Now, I thought, oh, it's quite good because like the base is there, so I didn't really have to blend, but I did still want to fade it out. And like I was saying, they are really hard pencils, and this picture hurt my hand. There was just no two. So this took longer to do, just because I had to take breaks, because like to get it to dark, to fade out, like it just required a bit of pressure. And yeah, it was, so I had to do this over a series of sessions, what I thought would be quite quick. I mean, looking back on it now, I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking, because I knew there was hard pencils, but I just did not think of it. Yeah, I did not think that one through. Anyway, I like how it came out. He's nice and orange. I went for the blue and orange because obviously they match quite well on the color wheel. And then I did the blues. Now he started to turn out a little bit too dark for my taste though, and basically his chin was merging into his chest, and like his hand would merge into his shoulder. I was like, how am I going to fix this? And then I decided to do, like, with the color by numbers in the regular Hachette Heroes color by, they have the black outlines. I thought, I can do that. I'm a big girl now. I'm a big girl now. I put on my big girl pants. And so I got a light blue Langro gel pen, and I did the reverse. So instead of making it a black outline, I decided to make it a light blue outline. Just so, and now he has his, it's like his hand. You can see his hand. It was all merged. You could not see his hand into his shoulder, into his arm. It was just a blob. So it needed that. I did make a mistake. I got a bit carried away, and these are obviously his his wrist cuff manacle things, but we're just pretending that this picture is after he has been freed, and he does not have his manacle things on. I used Pentel Dual Metallic for his waistband. I used gold. I think I might have used the Pentel Gold actually for the lamp, and then I used the dual metallics. I've got a yellow gold, and then I've got an orange. What is the orange? Oh, the orange is orange and metallic yellow. So they both had yellows in them, but they shifted different ways. And I did that for the frame. Now, what else did I do? And on here, I've used the Sakura Jelly Roll glaze black for his goatee and his eyebrows and his little thing here, his little tuft of hair ponytail. And I've put white gel pen on his teeth. I'm not sure. Maybe I just wanted them to pop a bit whiter, or maybe I've gone over the lines and I had to fix it. Either one is possible. Oh, he's got his little gold earring as well. So yeah, I did really enjoy that. I did that in July, and it took longer. When you think, oh, this isn't too bad, because these pictures aren't too bad. Like, they're big. This is a big book. This where's for context, like, here's the mythographic. You can see, like, so they're lined up at the bottom. You can see it's got this whole extra bit. They're big books, and they're big books, and they're big pictures, but they're big spaces as well. So it's actually not as long as you think it might take, unless you decide to use Amazon Basics for your picture, and then it will take forever. But I do like how he came out. I must get back to doing more in these books. I've got Tome 1 as well, and I love them both, but I really need to get in and do more of these stained glass windows. So I will leave that link below. So that is Disney Vitro Tome 2. Okay, so this one, I must hurry up. I've gone on for ages. So this is Mickey and Friends, Coloriage Magiques, and color by number. So this is like the same concept as, like the Grand Classiques, those kind of color by number books with the Disney characters, but much simplified. So I think they're aimed to be a little bit younger audience. As you can see, they're much thinner. Consequently, they are also like cheaper. But if you want something, look, it's only got 7 colors here. Like, it's a much smaller palette. They're a much simpler picture. I have done, let's not get ahead. So I did 3 from this book. I really like this book. Acrylic pens, I use my Grung nose. There is a lot of open spaces, so you do have to put a few coats on, unless you're okay with it being super streaky. But look at these. I do love my Chippendale as well. That was a great one to start with. Talking of books I've had earlier where I'm like, it was a bad one that I started the book with and it set the tone. This one, loved it. Absolutely loved it. Then I got to, then I've had I don't know what I've had happen there, because that does not look like, was it? I don't know what that is, because that does not match up with that. I've had an incident. Probably something on the back of my hand or something. I've got ink or something, because that is not from there. Anyway, I'll go back and tidy it up with a white acrylic, because that is the nice thing about acrylic pens, is they you can just paint over mistakes. So ignoring his little splodge. So obviously we've got Mickey in his circle. That was took a while, because like they do have you can see it here, because this one shines through. I was running out of white acrylic and I could not be bothered to go back over and fix. Maybe one day, because the lines do bother me. I don't like seeing the lines through there. Here on this one, the same, because I'd run out of acrylic on my paint pen. I've actually used regular acrylic paint with a brush, which is why it's a bit rougher. But yeah, so that would be nice if like the white areas were left white without the the sections, but it is what it is. So yeah, and that is Donald. I love him. I love his face. I love Donald. He's so cranky. So that's the only 3 I've done in that one. But I feel that I do want to. I can't remember how many pictures are in here. Maybe 23. Don't look at the solutions, but there's 23 pictures. I've done 3. So I don't know if I could get this finished this year, but I wouldn't say no to it if I did. So that's that one. And this is one you might have recently seen in my December finish pages, because I did a Christmassy one. So this is Seasons. This is a relatively new book. No, well, it's not even relative. It is a new book. I bought it late summer, I think it was, or October or something like that. And I did this one. There are quite a few. I won't show the solutions, but there are quite a few of Christmassy ones in here. But it's all snow. I don't fancy snow. Let's just go for a regular Christmassy one. I love his little holly on his nose. I'm not sure about this brown. I might have gone a bit too brown on that bit. I'm not sure, but yeah, a little. I don't know if it's Baby Goofy or whether it's Max or whether it's another Goofy family member. I don't know, but yeah, I liked how he turned out, and there was quite a lot of space again, which maybe I could have done without on this version. But on the bright side, like this white, this is the paper. They do not put the cells or the numbers over the white areas, which means I do not have to worry about painting them. So that's quite a nice bonus. Yeah, so that is Goofy, I think, from Seasons, and that's Hachette Little Heroes. I buy my Hachette books from Lyrica, which is a French book company. I will leave links to them below, but basically it's free shipping around the world, so I actually find them cheaper than Amazon. My little tip there. And you can use Google web browser to turn the language to English, so that's not even a problem there. It's just, yeah, go to Lyrica. Right, so Mickey, Donald and Co. is another one of Hachette Little Heroes. And again, I think I got this book at the same time as I got Seasons, so a new book, and I've only done one, and I've done this one. This one, unfortunately, his face does not have the white out bit, so I had to paint over it because it's got the symbols in it. And this, obviously, let me move it here. This was just like this big open area. I'm like, oh, I had to do it. It was streaky, so I think I did 3 coats on that just to soothe my OCD type tendencies to think about all the wrong things. But it's a great picture, and I do love how these I can't explain what it is about these books. They just have a nice level of dopamine when you finish them. It's just, they feel good, and it's hard to put into words. And if you've never tried one, I highly recommend trying one. Even if you think you won't like it, try that little book. Try this one, which is cheap and cheerful, and see if you like it, because you may be surprised. So anyway, this is from, I can't remember because this is one of the really, really old Mickey ones. I don't know if it's the bandstand or something like that. But yeah, so that is from Mickey, Donald and Co. Hachette Little Heroes. Okay, and then we've got this one, Le Grand Classiques, the one that started it all. And no tab in this because I don't need to, because I am doing this book in order, so I can just go to page 1 and we'll start straight through. And I've done a few. I've done quite a few. So this was the first one. Again, that first page, and I wouldn't even call myself a particularly big Tinkerbell fan, but like this come up really well, even though this brown is not ideal but it's not that far off. But it came out a little bit pinkier brown, but it still looks good, and that's all that matters. And that's a part of me. I need to stop obsessing about getting exactly the right shade, because you know what? It's still, like, when it comes together as a whole piece, it still looks okay. It's not like it's blue or something like that. I've not messed up that much. So yeah. And then I did Lady and the Tramp. Now I had like no dark browns in my early sets of markers. So in the end I got out some regular acrylic paint, because otherwise I couldn't have finished the picture. And that was dark brown. So that's pen and paint. We've got this guy who I think is, what's he from? He's from Bugs Life, I think. I have seen Bugs Life, but it was a very long time ago, and I do not remember things. And this is Jafar from Aladdin. I just noticed his nose is a bit splodgy. I don't know if that's coming up on camera. I might have to fix that. And then we've got, talking of funny colours, because I did not have the colour needed. I did not realise. So, this is the thing. Sometimes you look at it on here, and it's just a little splodge, and you think, yeah, no, that's pretty close. And then you get it on here, and it is not the same colour. This is very pink. Just like, it's like almost a purple brown. But do you know what? It doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look like that bad, because like in the context of the whole picture, and your eyes do magic things to make things work, and it just kind of looks like a shadow. Oh, I can still keep it this way. And this is from What's His Face? Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So that's quite good. I just noticed I've got a little line there for the white of his eyes. I did not see that before. I need to fix that. Got to fix that. So that's that one. I've done this one. This is, what's her face? Is it Esme? From Emperor's New Groove. I feel a bit traumatized by this picture, to be honest. I don't like how it's like so zoomed in. Like, she was a great character and a good baddie, but a good baddie? That makes no sense. But anyway, you know what I mean. But this one, I feel like it's not her best. It's not the most attractive picture to do. I feel quite menaced and traumatized. But anyway, and there was a lot of purple. But yeah, she did. To be fair, she does come out well, but it's not high up on my list of fun. And this was from, is this Treasure Planet? Which I don't think I've even watched. If I did, I watched it a long time ago. I've got a little bit of black splodge there. That's probably from that side. I'm not overthinking like these little black splodges at the moment. I've got all the colours marked down here. At the end, when I finish the book, it's my intention I can just fix up any bits, put sheets of paper in between if I want, and then I will put perhaps a black border around it. But I'm not doing it now in case it feels like overkill. If I get to the end and I still have the desire to do something like that, then I'll wait till the end and I'll do it all in one go. Because I might get to the end and I'm just like, yeah, next, and not care anymore. Do you know what I mean? So there's no point in doing something if I don't care that much, if I'm not going to be precious about it. So this is the little dragon from Mulan, Mushu. I quite like how these shadows go in the background. He does have funny eyes though. I don't know what the deal is with the eyes, but I do feel he had funny eyes, and it's like that on the thing at the back. I wondered if I'd done it wrong first of all, but no, that is what he's like. And then I've got the baddie from Monsters Inc. with his eyes. I have a thing about eyes. It's just like, stop looking at me. It's giving me the stink eye. But yeah, so I've done that one, and then I've done this one. I have not seen the Aristocats since I was very young, and that was a long time ago. I think, is that Thomas O'Malley? I'm not sure. I know there's a Thomas O'Malley in there. Then we have Arthur from The Sword in the Stone. I don't know why. I have a thing. I loved how these bricks came out. I focus on the weirdest of things sometimes. It's just like, yeah, that was so good. We have Hades. He talking of colours that looked okay here, but did not come out so well here. I think I might have to start looking at the back at the solutions to see how the colours are meant to come out, because I do find sometimes these colours differ a little bit from what's at the back as well, just like in a little bit of a tonal. And yeah, he's come out a little bit green. He's green. He's definitely meant to be grey. So yeah, but he looks okay. It's okay because both parts were green, so it's still two tone and like it's all relative, so it's all right. And there's this thingy bob from Pocahontas, John Smith, I think. I think he's the first one. I can't remember. There was I don't even think I watched Pocahontas 2. And that is it. That's all I've done. So I've done 14 from this book. I love this book so much. I'm definitely going to be doing more from, well, not even more from this. I think finishing it might be a bit of an ask because they do take a while, but I'm going to do a good chunk of it because they're so much fun. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate a thumbs up on the way out the door. Don't forget, down in the description, I've got links to all the books I mentioned and the art supplies if there was anything of interest there. And check me out on Discord as well. I do have a Discord server where you can post your whips, and it's a nice, safe, friendly environment. It's small but growing. And if you're interested, you can check out that flip through of my finished colouring book that I mentioned earlier on in the video. Bye for now. Bye.